Okay, and welcome back. We've got we've gotten to the point where we have columns and beams copied up from level 2 like to all the way up to level 6. Now we need to put the beams, or the columns rather, from level 1 down to the foundation level. So we'll start as the columns go downwards. We'll actually start from level 1, grab some columns again, and this time we will grab a different type of column. We'll maybe grab some concrete columns. We'll load family up in our ribbon again. We'll load the families. We'll go up to where we can access columns. And it says columns right there under the casework. And we've got the ability to have a bunch of different columns in here. Not necessarily what we want to have. So we'll go down into our structural columns, which is actually what we would like to have. Under structural columns, we would like to have concrete structural columns. So we open up the concrete one, double click on that. We've got choices of rectangular columns with a drop cap, rectangular columns, round columns with a drop cap, round columns, and square columns. Today, maybe let's start off with just concrete square columns. We'll open that up, and as we did before, we'll want to put those in at the grids. So we'll open that up with on grids from the ribbon and highlight all of the grids that we'd like to copy that column into, the 12 by 12 concrete square concrete column. Highlight it and then simply press finish. It says none of these created elements were visible in the floor plan level 1 view. Well, that's because it's creating them downwards into the foundation plan. That's completely alright. They do exist, I assure you. We'll take a look at the 3D view that we have, and we'll take a look now. We do have columns, concrete columns that are going from level 1 down to the foundation. You can see that in here. We'll press escape so we're not willy-nilly putting concrete columns into just any place. If I carelessly clicked on my mouse, it could be placing it into just any place at all. We don't really want to do that. The next thing we want to have is actually, maybe let's put some pads under the columns. We can do that so that we have maybe a little bit of support for our building. So this isn't just going to go straight into the dirt and sink down in. We'd like to have a little bit of support for that. So we might go into our foundation level now, if we'd like to add something like that in there. And with that, we'll go take a look into this. In this ribbon, under structure, we can look into isolated. Isolated will give us the ability to put in. Would you like to load in one now? Yes, we would absolutely love to load in an isolated. Go into structural foundations. Open up structural foundations, because that technically is what we're doing, is putting in a structural foundation. So we have a bunch of different types that we have in here. Pal cap rectangular, footing rectangular. This is what we'll put in. Here's footing rectangular, is the first one on my list. Probably is the first one on your list, unless you've added a bunch of families in there. So anyways, we'll open that up. And we'll do place at grid again. It's quite a handy little bit of the program. We'll highlight everything again. And it's all highlighted. And we'll press finish. Once again, it's telling us that that is not showing up in the level that we're looking at, but it's because it's put it a little bit below the surface of the foundation. And that's quite alright. Press escape to get out of there. And we'll take a look at that. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, look, now we have a bunch of the pads set down in here. Well, if we'd like to do something else with this, we'll go into our level 1, and we're going to put in some walls. But what we need to do is we need to go into architecture, select some walls, architectural, and down in here we've got a ton of walls that we can select from. Just to give you an idea of what we're going to do, I mean, that it'll be easy enough. We have this one for a foundation wall. It's a 12-inch concrete wall. I'm sure that your engineer, as I said before in previous videos, we are not engineering a building. We're not making something that's really going to be built. We'll just use the one that's here just to show you how it's done. It's this foundation, 12-inch concrete, and we'll select that. You can do all kinds of stuff to these and make it your own if you'd like to. Right now, what we're going to do is just do the basics, get you going on the projects that you have in to go forward with here. So we'll go up to the draw portion of our menu, and under there we have rectangle. We have a bunch of other shapes that we could use for this, of course, but we'll use the rectangle function, the rectangle tool, and grab from this column here, and we'll stretch that rectangle down into the bottom right. One element is completely inside the other, and that's fine because it's really just talking about our columns and our walls being inside each other. We'll press OK. And we'll click on here to check that out, and we've got this beautiful foundation walls all around at the bottom here. Well, that's great. Go back into foundation then. We'll do some more stuff. We'll add a little bit of a slab into the foundation. So let's go into their foundation, go into structure this time, and under the ribbon under structure we have slab. We want structural foundation slab. We've got floor slab edge, but right now we'll do a structural foundation slab just to set something in there. Just put a floor in there, and in this case we're under draw. You'll notice there's the options. We could put all kinds of different shapes in here, draw whatever. What we'll just do, pick walls. We've got these walls up here, and we can use the pick walls function to pick the walls that we've just set in there, and we'll go around on the inside of the walls and click on the inside of the walls as much as we possibly can here, and they'll all turn pink, and that's great. And then we press finish. It'll ask us, would you like the overlaps of the heightened walls, the floor roof overlaps the highlighted walls? Would you like to join the geometry and cut the overlap volume out of your walls? We'll put no for that right now, and we'll actually take a look in here at the, well, in this case, actually what we're going to want to do is put that so that it has so the foundation will actually be at the right location, and we might check that out with a section view. For right now we can see that it's there, the blue is there, but I'm suspecting that this is actually put it in, it looks like it's in with the pads. We'd like it actually to sit on top of the pads. That would be better. So what we're going to do is actually open up our foundation view again, and we'll look at it from a section view. So we're going to open up another new view. Up in here we've got the tab that will up in the top of the ribbon. We've got the tab that says view. Open that up, and there's this triangle with a circle behind it. That's a section view, and what we can do is click on the section view, click on one side of the building that we'd like to take a look at, and drag the line over the other side of the building. We don't have to go from side to side, but we could, for this case, we do want to do that. And you can see that the direction of the triangle is the direction that we'd like the view to go. However, if we'd like to flip that around, there's these flip arrows on the side here, and we can actually flip that to be the other direction. That's totally fine. There's a lot of things that we could manipulate this, but what we're trying to do is actually just accomplish a view from the midpoint of this building, so we can actually see the foundation and line it up with some of the other structure. So we'll double click on the foundation view, or we actually have under the project browser on the left hand side, we'll see 3D views. This 3D view is here, but we'll see this pop up in a second. If we double click on that view, we have the ability to take a look at our foundation. Zoom right in. We can actually put this each individual view that you have, you can actually change whether it's realistic or whatnot. And in this case, we'd like to have, as I said, we'll like to have this foundation, and we would like it to match up with, so it's above these the footings that are in here. So to do that, what we'd like to do is actually take the footings, and we'll go up here and it says align. I'm going to click align, click the top of the footing, the thing that you don't want to move, you click first. So what we have is the top of the footing, and then click at the bottom of the slab we just poured, and that will bring it up magically to land right on top of the footings. If you did it the other way around, it would actually move the other thing to the other location, which is not what we want to have. So now we've got the slab is poured correctly. It's actually sitting on top of the footings. We take a look into our 3D view again, and that is in fact the case. But we'll stop it for now, and we'll go back and look into this from another video.